Asa-Punk, Asa-Punk, he's not radioactive, he's Asa-Punk in 2020. Listen, folks. So what do you get when you cross a gun case full of axes, maces, and hammers with some old kitchen pans? Why, a different kind of test cutting day. One old pan. Okay. Two different hammers. Starting with, where's this hammer? Now, I should get a nice dent with the hammer. So you get pretty good. Sorry about showing my butt there. That's pretty good. Pretty good dent there. You can see it even came through the backside. Pretty good. Probably about the same spot, maybe. Oh. See, that went straight through rather easily. Of course, these aren't super thick metal, but you can see when a warhammer goes through, it peels the metal back rather than a round spike, which you have to force the metal apart. Square actually penetrates easier, but you see that straight on through to the other side. All right. Well, that kind of went straight through. This pan may be a little weak. Yeah. I'm sure you won't mix it well. There we go. Yeah. So that actually went straight through, and it's not just because where the other hammer hit, I think. So let's try a stronger pan for that. We'll try what I call the old bull helm. A little better. And the resistance department. But you can see, that really did a number on it. See, it punctured somewhat. So these are, I don't know if you can see how thick that is, but they're not super heavy, but they're not super light either. And of course, straight on through to the other side. As you can see there, not a problem. And peeled it, like I said, as goes through, it peels back on four sides. So take this weaker pan. This axe is not superb, but horseman's axe, yeah. Let's see the axe. Well, look at that. You can see that just crushed. Just crushed it. Now this is a pretty weak pan, so wasn't expecting a whole lot, but this is also not a great axe head. By the way, I found the piece the big warhammer took out of there, you see. Just ripped it straight out. So I'll try the heavier one. This held up all right. That also just went straight on through. Right there, little square hole. Right there. You can see it did a nice little job too. I give it a pass. It's actually made from a cheap axe head that came on an axe from Bud K. The half bent, so I replaced the half. The half here now is a golf club shaft. The pommel is actually a top off a paper towel holder, and this is one third of a 3-part rapier guard. So kind of homebrew there. Okay, 2 maces. This one's heavy. This is actually a brass head, not bronze. But it was meant to be a walking stick. It's just been cut down. I bought it at a clearance sale. And we're going to start with a lighter mace first. See what kind of nonsense we can get out of this. Did better than I thought. Now, the idea of a mace is not really to penetrate and pierce, but you can see here, 2 flanges dented in. It's mostly to send a percussive shockwave through the armor into the body, so it hit hard, but I didn't expect much penetration. The flanges really just helped it from keep from rolling, just to grip in. But this one is heavier. It's a solid shaft. A lot of historical maces were hollow shafted. This one's solid, so it's a bit heavy, but it tends to knock the crap out of things. So let's see what it does. Yeah, that's what I thought. It went through the pan. Like I said, this isn't a very heavy pan, but still it cracked through. It bites into the armor more than the shorter flanges being pointed. But still, if you look, even at best penetration, you get what? Maybe an inch of this flange before this one gets in the way. So yeah, it's not like a spike for going through. It's just for hitting hard, but it does. All right, moving on. 3 axes. We have an American tomahawk, a war hawk of sorts, you can tell. It's pretty good. It's got the shaft protecting its cutting, half protector you can hit with. Designed probably more for combat than it was a tool. And we have my small single hand Viking axe and my double-handed Viking great axe. We'll go from smallest to biggest. Let's start first with a hammer. Hammers are kind of fun. See what that can do. Well, that went straight through. Straight on through. It's a pretty thin pan, but straight on through. Try with the edge this time. See if we can get through it with the edge. That'd be kind of cool, right? Oh, that kind of moved out of the way, but it dented the hell out of it. Did not get through as I anticipated, but the pan shifted. You can see right here where it kind of scored it. Let's try one more hit in that. See if we can get a better hit. Okay, let's try. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, it cut right through. Pretty good, but that's a really thin baking pan. But did pretty good. All right, moving on. And we will Viking away at it. Yeah. Not enough resistance there either. As we've gone clearly straight through without much problem. And yeah, none of these have taken any edge damage, so that's good. All right, let's go for the big guns. As I think it might do better for us. Yeah, I may have to get a tougher pan. That went straight through too, very easily. Very easily, very easily. Let me do it this way. Yeah, that put up more resistance. It dented pretty good right there, right across there, but did not penetrate, which kind of is what I expected based on testing of years past. Listen to this though. Beautiful. All right, Hilson, folks. Well, folks, as you can see, this is kind of a thick wool-like blanket I was using to pad the stand, so the stand wouldn't take damage, and look what happened. This cut went through. Look at that. Oh, man. Doubled up layers of wool blanket. And those look straight lines. I don't think those were from the pick hits. That one's from a pick hit, but those are from the axes, the blades. So the one pan that this came out of turned out it was, feels like aluminum, but you can see it's pretty thin aluminum. That's why it's so easily broken. Now this pan is actually steel, but if you see, I don't know, try to put this in perspective. My finger, it is really pretty thin. You know, it's not even, probably not, looks like maybe half a millimeter or so, maybe. But you can see it did peel, and when I press, I can't move that. As hard as I press my hand, I can't bend it myself. So it does have some strength to it. It's just not as thick as a helmet. And the reason I test on pans like this is because it isn't as thick as a helmet. And so it has more give. So you're not as likely to damage weapons. But it gives an idea of what could be done. Now this hole would probably be about. Okay, well, there you go, folks. There is some unusual test cutting on metal pans using axes, maces, and hammers. Hope you enjoyed and hope you saw something different today, because most people do their test cutting with swords and not with frying pans. So at least that should be something different. Hilson, and good night, folks.